Hi everybody, it's Jess, your go-to YouTube dance commentator, and we have a Patreon request. Shout out to Hannah Jade for the request. You know it's ENHYPEN when Hannah's name gets brought up. We're going to be looking at a unit. We have two units to look at, but for this one it will be Teeth, which involves Heesung, Sunwoo, Jungwon, and Nikki. We have a lyric video to help us with context, as well as I believe their performance from Walk the Line. It was around 7 months ago, but in terms of the order of the albums and where we're at, it fits right in chronologically. So I am looking forward to diving in, and of course we have the other unit that's going to be made super soon after this. Let's get started. That would terrify me if there was somebody who eats people or bites them like vampires. I would run. So tasty for you.
You made me so thirsty. Feel the vibe between my jaw, so tasty. You made me so thirsty.
Ooh, I'm curious what's going to be happening in movement here. I don't want to feel that. Thank you though. Okay, so we have the lyrics, context, lots of tasty. Do you feel the bite between my jaw? No, I don't want to feel that. But I'm curious about how they're going to show that in movement. He showed off his shoulders. What are you doing? So funny. It's not a dance without basket runs. Choreo runs. Streamers. With this one, it's interesting because, you know, most of the time we look at a music video visual and then we watch a dance when applicable. And most of the time when I see a music video into the dance practice with ENHYPEN, the dance practice is very clean, very refined. There's a lot of beautiful captivating elements. This one does not look as refined as what we are conditioned to be used to seeing personally. So it just caught me off guard. And also because I had the lyric video, I didn't have anything to kind of distract me from the words. So I was really paying attention to what's being said, the nuance of it, the tone of it, the line distribution of it. So seeing here, I wasn't given anything outside of the song itself for me to create my own degree of expectation, which I would say is a very fascinating thing we can explore long term, because we have another one we get to look at, the other unit here, and I'm curious what the thoughts will be there. But there was a lot of our movement wasn't coordinated effectively amongst the members. It does look underprepared, but it could just be the time of the concert. It could be a multitude of factors. No idea with any of that. But in comparison to most of their choreography structure that we've seen leading up to here, it's significantly more prepped. So it's just made me curious about if there was an outside circumstance that caused it to be this kind of not quite as coordinated in terms of projection, how we are working together cohesively. So we start with the chest. And what I'm really focusing on, I mean, the shoulders were fine there, but there's a lot of choices, a lot of extra movement happening amongst each member. They're doing their own isms. And the reason why I call it an ism is sometimes when you're under adrenaline or you are doing a particular routine, or when you dance or perform, you have quirks. And a lot of people have similar quirks, and a lot of people have different quirks. For me, how I use my arms is different when I'm under adrenaline compared to when I'm just comfortably dancing in the dance practice space. So if you're seeing that we have these choices where we pull away, that's supposed to be a ripple. Yes, we're able to see. But notice we have some that are taking into more conversational. We don't have, you know, two people are doing the same thing. One's doing a hybrid. One's not even doing it, right? Like Nicky is bleeding through his choices, meaning that he's creating this extra tension, this push and pull that makes him look off in his range, even through the range choice of taking the arm up and over. It's like two people are on the same page, somebody else is off. And then it switches to two different people, right? And what happens here is your features get lost as a result of those types of choices when you're supposed to do unison. Head down, which is why I find it just interesting. We do the brushaways, and it looks like we're marking in a lot of way too. We are going to chalk that particular note to the fact that we're singing live. A lot of times the first thing to go away is going to be your torso and also projecting really fully. That's why ATs, I would use them as an example of a group that catches you off guard in terms of their live performance because of the density of their dance, but they also project like they are in the dance practice space on stage. Not every group does that, and not every group has to do that. Totally fine. But what I'm noticing here is we are regressing our projection here compared to what we normally see. So this lead back was fine. I like that, but notice we're really close together in a lot of our choices. Yeah. And we cross and cross. Once again, we have two that are on one page, and then we're in kind of executing in our own way, right? Where we all learned the dance, but we all didn't learn the dance the same way. That's what this looks like. And we didn't audit it, and we didn't clean it. This is a not clean dance. And then we chuck it up, and then we tap it down. So we get the gist of it, and it's a unit stage. So I think it's fun that we have it. The hit it high low, you have a he sung, he's very restricted, meaning that he's choosing to internalize a lot of his choices and keeps it more so along the line of the body in comparison to others whose arms are extended out, right? There's that, ooh, we have a lot more torso engagement here, but not everybody's doing that. So that's, I think, honestly, I genuinely got caught off guard at the fact of the lack of cleanliness for the routine. And then we ended up switching the timings there. I think we ended up going more on, he went more on his tone and his words compared to what we were supposed to go on. But that's a very simple thing that happens pretty often because that would mean he has to add an extra level of an extra rhythm to factor in whenever he's performing, which is really tricky to do. Arms go up, signal's fine. And they go bass, 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 hustle it down. There's that thirsty, the rock back. Yeah, I have so many questions that I would love to know more about with this. Middle, low, and then tension there around the neck. And then so tasty. It's like we're eating an apple or something with stylized hand. New verse. Accent with the punch is nice. I'm going to say it now, though. Like, a lot of people, what's the word? A lot of people are surprised when I talk about Juwon as a mover. I genuinely think he is a fantastic mover in terms of his full body integration in a track. I think these styles look really, really good on him. The note still stands, though, where you have, movers like Nicki. He's a great job in his choices, but a Juwon pocket versus a Nicki pocket on a song like this, they both look different and not in a way that benefits the cohesion of the group, in my personal opinion. Like, in the context there, right? So the knockout. And that's what happens when you have a lot of different individuality. I think that's so fun how the crowd goes wild over shoulders. Like shoulders. Dancers come up. The note stands of, the basket runs. I always prefer. Let's create a more creative entrance. This whole track just looks underprepared and undervalued compared to other tracks that we've seen with the full group. Should it be that way? I personally think each track for a concert should be treated with the same type of intention of every track matters, especially if it's going to show up on a set list for your fans. Every track needs to matter. And I know most fans that are there are not there just for the dance. They're there for the people, to celebrate, to support them and the art that they're doing. This isn't just a dance show. I know that. However, if you're choosing to dance on stage or create a routine on stage, and this is not a note to ENHYPEN at all, it's really more so just an observation. My preference, there are people who are like me who go to concerts, and what you look at is the overall production of it. You want it to be something that, from down to the dancers when they come on stage, to the lighting choice, to when you have them on the extended all the way to the back, it does look like we just said, okay, do your dance here, and then because we don't have time, just run to the back and just party. It gave more of a, this was not the top priority, probably near the bottom of routines to have a dance to it. And it looks like we kind of threw something together, which is really, I mean, it sucks for me to say, but that is something that the more I'm watching it, the more it comes across that way to what ENHYPEN and the team surrounding ENHYPEN have set in expectation for the group as a whole, for their brand as a group. And I think that's okay to hold that degree of accountability, because that's going to associate to expectation in filling it or becoming a disappointing result as of it. And that could be a very real thing, which I think is fun. The track is really fun. And we all have some individuality, totally fine. Cross it, we bring it up, the knock, we have some opposition. Not quite sure what that formation was here. Then we have your dancer squatted down. We can still see you. I'm going to be going into a swoop through. So the dancers just do the choreography with them. Toe tap with the finger wag is fun. We have subtlety. So the content itself is really nice. I would have preferred that we were on the same page of how to execute it, because it's just unclear. Pressing out, lean over. I know Heesung's got a lot of vocal responsibility in the track. Nikki has more of the ad-lib sections, except for when the BPM modifies. This right here, I was expecting it to be a little bit of a drop down. There's your thirsty. Bring it through. So notice, though, that you have Nikki a little bit more up. You have a head dropped back. You have your dancers with the shoulder. Like, that's fun. Like, it definitely gives a seductive essence, which matches the type of track we have. The marches to two columns, that thirsty. Thirsty ties into thirsty. Earlier on, we have the rock with the arm swing. Boom. Arm up. Pull it through. So everyone has more of this rigid, dynamic match with different individuality on it. Arm swing. I like the shoulders on that. That's cool. Drop it down with the head. And then we look with the double, and then we knock. I like the drop there. Looks cool. Toss it. Then we end up going da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That looks really fun there. And this is what I'm talking about. It's like we're walking. Is this a bad thing? No. Nothing that I'm saying is inherently bad. When you combine it all together, it is an underwhelming, disappointing performance in comparison, in the grand scheme of things, to other performances we have seen. So, in the plays here, it does, like, it's fun to hear this part of the music, but we know they have to get back to their spot through the end of that section. So it looks like a missed opportunity to be smart about getting back to there. So the ball changes are nice with the arm swings. We bring it up, swing it down. This looks cleaner here. Arms go high, low, switch it up. Then we end up taking it, transitioning it out. This part's best section. And I think a lot of it comes from we're on the same page on mirroring, on the same page of projection to a degree. The dancers are doing nice. They're adding on when effective. The pulse high, low on that is nice. They take the arms into up. And they go base with the elbows, with toss down. So thirsty. There's a little burr where we're getting that recognized with the elbow. So tasty, the scuff. Arms swing in front. They end up pulling it in 2 times, and then that tasty, and then they end up bouncing it down. Dancer's basket run off. Cool, and then we do a little cheers to finish. So in general, I don't mind it. Is it my favorite track? Not exactly. I do like the track. It's definitely not my favorite choreography, but it does not have anything to do with the choreography team. It doesn't have anything to do with ENHYPEN. It just has to do with the current of events of what I was just noticing in this moment. It does not mean that this is the only time or the only way that this has been executed. I'm looking forward to seeing more units, right? Because we're about to look at another one. And of course, they're future tracks, future works, and getting to enjoy those, because this one, I would say, is just the first one that I'm consciously clocking that does not have that degree of fullness. Everybody's on the same page, the synergy. It does look like 4 people who are doing a dance with dancers surrounding them, but it could have just been circumstance of the day because it's a very real thing too. Thank you so much, Hannah, for this request. Thank you guys for watching. Be on the lookout because there should be Lucifer. The second part of this should be released in a second video here super soon. I'm Jess, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.